let me tell you the story of Ezran Keth, a man whose every step echoed between worlds, caught between damnation and the slimmest hope of redemption. Beneath the bent boughs and moss-hung willows of the swamp called Blackwood, ruins older than maps lie sunken and forgotten. Aristhall, once a beacon of learning, now a mausoleum choking on rot and fungal bloom. In these catacombs, hope and horror mingle, and the dead do not rest. Ezran arrived at dusk, boots sinking into the marsh as hungry mists twisted around his ankles. His lantern cast a faint, shivering glow upon wild growth. Mushrooms like 1,000 baleful eyes peered at him from every crumbling stone. Once he'd been a young scholar, eager for arcane truth. Now he bore a different burden, a burning sigil across his heart, the mark of a pact forged in desperation. He'd trafficked in forbidden rites seeking power, and found instead a curse so inescapable that even sleep became a battlefield. Each breath was haunted by whispers, not merely in his head, but echoing through the very marrow of his bones. He could taste the eldritch bargain in the air, a flavor of copper and old tears. Yet here, tangled in the web of Aristhall, Ezran was not just a haunted man, he had come with a purpose. "Let them not suffer for my sins," he had murmured days earlier, staring at his tired reflection in a stagnant pool. His resolve was a fragile thing, but enough to draw him into the bowels of the earth, chasing rumors of the cult called the Malison. These zealots worshipped what should never be named, and worse, they bound lost souls in perpetual anguish, feeding some ancient fungal darkness that swelled beneath the world. Down he went, deeper than sunlight cared to touch. Every step echoed with wet, lifeless squelches. The catacomb walls were plated with mushroom-rot orange caps, blue spears, bitter-smelling frills. The air was humid and fetid, thick with spores. Phosphorescent fungi cast sickly green light on friezes of forgotten priests, their stone faces marred by mold and time. With each corridor's turn, Ezran's fear gnawed hungrily, chewing away at his resolve, whispering that this was folly, that damnation was what he deserved. But ahead, he heard the moans of the imprisoned spirits, their agony reverberating from spore-choked altar halls. Mother used to say, "If you leave a debt unpaid, the debt will find you." An echo of soul-bound agony brushed against his mind. Pulling at that lingering debt, he pressed on, the sigil across his heart burning cold and fierce. In these tunnels, the cult had performed wicked rituals, infesting the catacombs with living fungus that grew from corpses, their voices forever shackled to the Malison's hunger. As Ezran pressed deeper, the eldritch mark thrummed, offering suggestions, a twist of the wrist for easy destruction, a syllable whispered to break the world with raw magic. The temptation was ever present, dreadfully sweet. "Power is a knife by which I carve my fate, but every cut leaves a scar," Ezran thought, his fist clenched around his spellbook. At the catacombs' nadir lay the heart of the curse, a chamber pulsing with mold and shadow. The altar, once sacred, was now a writhing heap of fungal growths, pulsing to some infernal rhythm. Figures in shredded robes moved through the gloom. Cultists, their flesh gone soft and pale, eyes glazed with devotion to something vast, something hungry. They noticed him, a lone figure silhouetted by lantern light, and hissed. Spells whistled through the air. Ezran called on the strength of his pact, sorcery whipping from his hands, a storm of black-blue fire that burned but left rot behind in its wake. Every invocation bit deeper, the eldritch force hungering to take the wheel. In the chaos, the ruined altar cracked, spilling forth the bound souls, a swirl of phantoms with sunken, glowing eyes. He heard their voices, woven through with pleading and accusation alike. "Free us," they cried. "You made the bargain. You bear the key to our chains." Ezran staggered, pain tearing through his chest as the sigil flared brilliant blue, a lock and a blade all in one. He understood, by feeding more of his essence, of his humanity, into this sigil, he could break the fetters, wrench their souls free of the Malison's grasp. But he knew the cost. The power would not return quietly. Each soul he liberated would claim another measure of his own light, weaving the curse deeper into his marrow. Salvation does not come cheap. Are you willing, truly? The eldritch force hissed in the silent space between heartbeats. A memory arose, his mentor's trembling hands, her voice brittle with fear. "You can turn back." "The price grows each time." His hands trembled as he spoke, not to the spirits or the cultists, but to himself. "If I am damned, let it be while offering others a dawn I shall never see." With a cry, Ezran unleashed his will, driving the sigil's power outward. Fungal growth burst into black flame as spectral shackles shattered. One by one, the souls unfurled like moths freed at midnight. Their whispers changed from anguish to softest gratitude as they vanished into the afterlife. But with each broken chain, Ezran felt his own form grow dimmer, pain blossoming behind his eyes, his memories flickering like candle wicks in wind. He caught glimpses. Childhood laughter, the warmth of a hand upon his brow, the scent of old books slipping away like water through a cracked vessel. By the time the last soul was freed, Ezran knelt, barely himself at all, his lantern flickering weakly as fungus crept across his arms, echoing the mark seared on his chest. The cultists fled, their god denied an offering. Alone in the darkness, Ezran pressed his hand to the stone floor, breath rattling. The remaining spirits' rescued souls all gathered for a brief moment, bathing him in a gossamer radiance impossible to touch. He smiled, feeling the first warmth in years, yet there was a void opening inside, for the cost of their peace was his own wholeness. The curse, sated and patient now, coiled deeper into his being, a shadow behind every thought. Some say he still wanders Aristhall's depths, half hidden between worlds, lending solace to lost souls for no reward but quiet redemption and never quite regaining what he gave away. "If I could choose again," Ezran's voice barely murmurs from the darkness, "would I still offer myself? If by my loss another finds freedom, then perhaps, just perhaps, the bargain is worth its price." And so the story of Ezran Keth is written across the stones of Aristhall, whispered by lantern glow and moonspore alike, a grim solace amid decay, a bitter redemption that asks us, what would you have done in his place? If you have a tale you wish told, or a question yet unanswered by the firelight, suggest it below, and perhaps your story will be next, like what you heard. Linger a little longer and remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next descent into legend. The catacombs hold many secrets, and some, like Ezran's, are worth the shadows they cast.